Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Chorus Konix, and welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I'll talk about it. This game is part of the Fairune collection that came out in 2018, and it's a bit convoluted, but it's mostly developed by one guy and his company called Skipmore, so I'm not gonna go into further detail into that because it's weird. And also there will be spoilers up ahead, just so you know, but first a little backstory. So I just went on search for collection on PSN, like bundles and stuff, and a lot of Mega Man games, but this game caught my attention because it looked different, so that's why I played it this week. So this game starts you out as a cute girl in a dress with red hair, and a flying book called the Codex tells you what to do. Basically plot. It's kind of a stupid line, but the book kind of says like not even monsters would hurt a girl in a dress or something like that. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Monsters have morals too, right? At the start of the game, it wasn't really clear on where to go or anything, and this game doesn't at all times hold your hand, so I did some exploring. I picked up a piece of mana, which is like a white crystal, and in some strange grass area, you can save the game and heal yourself up. So this game is just like High Glide. You walk into enemies and you hurt them, or they hurt you. So there's like this leveling system when you look at the codex. And by the way, I picked up a sword as well. So as you open up the codex, I think you press the X button or something, you see what current enemy you can harm and what's recommended. So I grinded some slimes and I got a level up. And once you have killed enough slimes that level up, you cannot get XP from that kind of mob again. So basically, and they can't hurt you either, I think. So, and the next type of enemy was like some evil looking trees and then later some walking mushrooms. And the walking pattern of the enemies is all the same, they are just different sprite swaps. So after some playing, I figured out what more to do. I more or less got stuck. You're supposed to press a switch, the way it opens up for you. So I went into a dungeon, I grinded some more, and then I died the first time because I didn't see, it was kind of a dark cave, and certain enemies you can damage and others you can't, and I got boxed into a corner, and it was BS basically. I just went hammered down, and I ended up in a limbo place, more like an Aztec kind of afterlife thing with static, and I walked out of there and I respawned at a grave. Yeah. And then I pushed some rocks to reveal a dungeon, just like Zelda, so it's a blatant reference. And that is more or less the game. As you play, you open up the map. The enemies you're supposed to kill are usually in that location where you need to be. So it's kind of easy that way. There are some things that I can complain about regarding the game design, which is the some bushes and trees and whatnot you can walk right through because they don't have like a base, if that makes sense, and those are very hard to spot. So this game doesn't necessarily hold your hand at all times. It's cryptical sometimes as well. There's one part you need to collect 3 red rupees or gems, and you're supposed to place them on like a pentagram of a bird. And it's indicated like earlier, like they have like a billboard or something, which you see the gem and where they're supposed to be placed. But I thought I just needed to stand in the middle of the pentagram and push the X button to activate them. But it's very finicky. You need to place them exactly where they need to be. And that was kind of BS. But once you figure out those things, the game becomes much more playable. So this week was me playing for a bit, getting stuck, trying hard, being stubborn, and then realizing I don't know what I'm doing and have to go to like YouTube and look up the answer. It's not that fun when a game makes you do this. I mean, some games have this learning curve and some critical parts, but this game, you just pause it every like 15 minutes or so and be like, okay, I know I need to go here, but how do I get here? And like, am I using the correct items? And there's this puzzle when you need to like cut down trees and you need to get an axe, and it feels a little bit unfinished at times as well. I don't know, I'm just rambling at this point. So gameplay. Save the land for the Mega Dark Ruler, and yes, that is his actual name. Control L1 brings up the items. Option brings up the option menu and save features. The D-pad and the left stick moves the character around. Circle goes back, and pretty much every other button like triangle, square, and X, except and opens up the it's like a I don't know why. They could have just used one button, but they choose to put that function to 3 buttons. Graphics. This game looks like a 16-bit game. Think of it as like a 2D Zelda, like A Link to the Past, a bit of mixture with this other game called Anodyne and High Glide. Sound and music. Yikamura made the music for this game. He also made the art, the script, and the game concept. So he is pretty much the one guy, skip more. Easter eggs, secrets, and glitches. There are too many secrets in this game. So just in order to beat the game, you need to collect these tablets. It's super weird. And during the game, you can upgrade your weapons. Your sword is like a normal, I think it's called like the Sword of Hope or something. And you plug it into a computer in the fantasy land, and you upgrade it into like the Slayer's sword. And then there are these hidden areas where you can find boosts for your XP and defense and whatnot. And those look like a Pac-Man level, or like a breed between Pac-Man level and a desktop with sprites and everything, like Pac-Man or the Space Invader Ghosts. So this game has a lot of secrets, and I didn't even talk about the ending, but I guess spoilers. So if you get all the tablets, you transform, you get wings, and you fly up, and all of a sudden the game is a space shooter, like a relentless one. It's kind of crazy. It's like an endurance round, and you fight this Dark Lord, and later you fight like a space alien, and it's like, what is going on? So I didn't even beat the game. I was like, I couldn't find all the tablets to begin with. So in conclusion, I wrote no. If you like mind and grinding, this is perfect, but it's not my cup of tea. Going into this game, I was expecting like a Zelda clone, but it turned out to be a better version of High Glide. One of the other thing is like I managed to soft lock myself. You're supposed to plant a tree, and you're supposed to use these kind of fairy icons, and they're straight lifted out of High Glide. You picked the one that's like represent water, and you supposed to pour the water on the plant, and it starts to grow. And there's this other part up in the sky when you basically scale a large tower filled with enemies, and it's kind of a cool concept. It has a lot of floors, but once you reach the top of the clouds, you walk up to the clouds, and you're supposed to use the wind element there to kind of progress the story to get a tablet. And of course I placed it on the altar, so I don't think I could retrieve it, so I was double soft locked. I couldn't like complete the game. So what more to say about this game? Don't play it. It's not that good. Anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.